Welcome to Soul via Soul, the podcast where we embark on a journey of self-love and true wellness. I'm your host, Jada, and I'm absolutely delighted to have you here with me as we dive into all things mind, body, and soul. Now, what do you say we get this thing started? Let's dive in. Welcome back to Soul via Soul. It's December and we are in the process of putting up all of our lights. Now, I did that this weekend and I like to get the lights up right after Thanksgiving, mostly because the weather's just a little bit nicer. And it's just, I feel like I have permission to do it then. I don't like to put lights up before Thanksgiving. I'm one of those like, nope, let's keep Halloween. Let's keep Thanksgiving. And then when that's over, we move into Christmas. So what is the symbol of lights? Like, what do lights mean when we're talking about the holidays? So why do we put up Christmas lights? And I think that for a lot of reasons is because obviously it's dark, but the lights are symbolic in that as we move into the darkness, it becomes this reason to bring light back into the dark world. Obviously, there's the religious symbolism of having light. It's definitely, as far as Christianity is concerned, it's often like Jesus was considered the light of the world. So it's a symbolism of the lightness. During the Advent season, again, during this preparation time, it's darkness. We use lights and candles to celebrate the coming light. And over time, just like the Christmas tree, as this decorating of homes and putting on lights has been something that's been practiced for generations, centuries, because it's also necessary as the days got shorter and the darkness became more, that we needed to literally light ourselves. And to bring light into the darkness has just so many rich traditions just in general. And it also creates a festive atmosphere where we decorate our houses and we have all these colorful lights, and it can be a very fun way for people to come together, celebrate the beauty of the season. And again, just the literal need for lightness in the dark. But I'm going to flip it around and have us celebrate the darkness. And there's a reason for that, because while I love the symbolism of the lights and I love a Christmas tree, and like I just said, I just put some lights up myself, it creates this festive feeling in the darkness. But I really crave the darkness. I really crave what the darkness can bring. And it's often in the darkness that we grow. And by darkness, I mean the metaphor of darkness. We can take it as the literal darkness as well, because the days are shorter. We have more darkness, but it's also this idea that there's also, after the holidays, people have a little bit more depression. That's when I see the most depression, is after the holidays, kind of like during and right after. During, because sometimes it highlights the loss of the people that are no longer with us, when other families gather and we realize our parents aren't there with us, or our siblings, or a loved one is not there. That can be the first sort of pang of sadness within the holiday. But then after the celebration is over and the lights come down, so to speak, and we just enter this darkness of the winter, this is where I see a lot of depression. And in part because it's just dark and there's no activity or festival or holiday to celebrate. We just enter this period of darkness. And that period of darkness can be difficult for many. But I want us to reframe that. I want us to think about inviting the darkness as being this time of rebirth. And those of you who have listened before, those of you who know me, know that I'm a gardener, know that I love to watch things grow. And I love to grow my garden, and I love to harvest, and I love all that. But I love the winter just as much because that's when I start planning for what next year is going to look like. That's when I start putting pen to paper on what went well and what didn't go well, what grew well and where and why, where I start thinking about the seeds I want to purchase, when I start thinking about the birth of the new garden, the growth that is going to come, and how important it is for the earth to have this stillness and the quietness and this ability to breathe. Because we can't grow all the time. Flowers don't bloom all year long. Trees don't bloom and grow and produce flowers and leaves all year long. There's a season, and this season, the darkness, the winter, is my favorite. I love to run in the snow. I love to walk in the woods in the snow. I love to be cuddled in a warm blanket and have a hot cup of tea. Like there's something so nurturing about the darkness. So the challenge is to take this season of darkness. And yes, we're still celebrating the Christmas season or the holiday season or the celebration with the lights, but the lights are going to go away and then we're going to left with the darkness. And I want to encourage and set the stage for, instead of there being this anticipated sadness that will come with the darkness, to really exchange that with this anticipatory grace, this anticipation of what can be, what will be, what seeds are you going to sow in your life for next year? What plans are you going to create? What do you want to grow in your life next year? Because now's the time that happens. Now's the time you write down those goals, those dreams, those things that you want and crave. Now is the time that you do the inner work. And I talk about this as being the fertile darkness. I mentioned this before, and the fertile darkness is about understanding that seeds don't grow in the sunlight. Seeds grow in the darkness. The plant grows in the sunlight, but the seeds grow when they're tucked into the earth, when they go into the darkness. That's where they sprout. That's where your creative ideas are going to sprout for next season and into the new year. Those seeds, whatever that genius is that you want to sprinkle into the world, whatever that new abundance looks like, whatever that new body you want to create, that new exercise program you want to cultivate, that new program or way that you love yourself, the discipline and the habits that you're going to create to drop self-love into your life, the new ways that you're going to create opportunities for mindfulness. Maybe you're going to start a new practice of daily movement or meditation. Whatever the seeds are that you want to grow into the new year, start now. Those seeds of growth get tucked into the darkness. This is where you do the inner work. And the darkness is a metaphor for the inner work. It's the soil in our heart. It's where we tuck in our ideas and our aspirations and our ideas and all the little tiny seeds of things that we want to plant to bring to fruit in the next season start in the darkness. And the darkness is our heart. That's where we hold our deepest desires and all the things that we want to manifest in our life, all the abundance that we feel we're destined to have, and yet we don't know where to start. It starts now. It starts in the darkness. So take these winter months, take these dark months, take these the opportunity of moving into the darkness rather than sadness or dread, but embrace it. Embrace it as the fertile soil in which to drop all the seeds that you want to plant for next year into your life. What are they? Write them down. What do you want to grow next year? What do you want to cultivate and harvest from your life next year? Those things start with seeds. Those seeds are your desires. Those seeds are the things you hold dear to your heart. Drop those seeds into the internal landscape of your heart. Let them take root and sprout inside by cultivating warm, good soil. And by that, I just mean time, attention to your dreams. Give them a place to grow. Give them a place to flourish. Give them a place to sprout. This is the time to do it in the darkness. So, your takeaway for this podcast, because I like to give you a little nugget to take away, is to write down, get a journal, buy a journal, get my journal, or just get a journal. Write down what you want to harvest next year in your life. What do the seeds look like that you need to plant right now? What habits do you need to create right now? What belief systems do you need to challenge and change right now? What inner work do you need to do right now? I have courses, masterclasses, all on how to reprogram the subconscious, reframe those negative beliefs, heal those childhood wounds so that you can create fertile soil to grow your dream life. The wellness you want in your life starts with how you love you. And how you love you is honoring the seeds of your life. So write down what your dreams are. Think big, go crazy, be delusional. What do you want in your life? Write them all down. Those seeds are going to bear fruit in your life. The fact that you have this desire, the fact that you have this dream is important, and it needs to be honored. And it's okay to tuck those seeds into the darkness of our bodies. What does it feel like to imagine creating a life of your dreams? What does it feel like to do the work to be able to harvest all the wonderful things you want in your life? We have that power. It's within us to create a magical, beautiful garden in our life with loving relationships, a healthy, strong body, a healthy, strong mind. So write down what your seeds are. What are your dreams? What are your desires? Put them on paper. Look at them. And then give yourself permission in this season of darkness to tuck them into your heart and start giving them room to sprout.